Good morning, my master chefs. Today we are going to be working on making potato salad. Okay? So I'm already kitchen ready. I have my apron and my hat. I've washed my hands really well. So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and make sure you do that. Okay? The other thing is the first step of our recipe is that we need to boil our potatoes. So if you look at what our ingredient list, we need 4 potatoes. And then it says that we need to boil them whole and with the skins on for approximately 15 minutes. So that's what we're gonna do right away because that's gonna take some time. So go ahead and find your pan, you put your water in it, make sure your potatoes and everything fit, and start your burner going so that we can get those boiling. Don't start your timer yet because it's not boiling, the water is still cold. The other thing that's important to note is that in the optional ingredients is hard-boiled eggs. So if you're going to want to add some eggs to your potato salad, you should probably start those boiling in a separate pan right now too. So go ahead and do that. I already have, my eggs are already boiled, so I'm not going to worry about boiling them right now. Okay, while this boils, let's get out our other ingredients. Our white vinegar, our mayonnaise, we're going to need salt, pepper, garlic, and mustard. There it is, mustard. If you have a different kind of mustard you want to use, feel free. You are a master chef, you can make that decision. Okay? I'm going to now look at my optional ingredients and kind of decide which of the optional ones I might want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video as we wait for our potatoes to get to the point of boiling, and then we'll start a timer for 15 minutes. All right, so our potatoes are boiling. So we're going to go ahead and start our timer for 15 minutes. Okay, be back in a few. All right, so our 15 minutes are almost up. But if you guys, like me, didn't just sit in the kitchen for 15 minutes, we need to wash our hands again. There goes the timer. Go ahead and turn that off. I'm going to rewash my hands. All right, we are kitchen ready again. We need to check our potatoes. So go ahead and grab a fork. Now, our instruction says that they need to be firm but soft. So we don't want them mushy, but we do need them to be soft enough that we can kind of poke through them here. So let's see. Yeah, I think that mine are ready. So I'm going to go ahead and get out my colander to drain them. Grab some hot pads because your pot will be hot. And make sure you have a helper because the last thing you want is to spill boiling water on yourself. It really hurts. Okay. We're just going to drain our potatoes. Okay. We're going to let those cool for a little bit so that they're not going to burn our hands when we touch them. And so while those are cooling, we're going to start getting our optional ingredients ready. So I'm going to peel my carrot. I went ahead and broke it in half because I did not need that huge carrot. So I'm going to go ahead and peel my carrot. If you have a peeler, these are great. You just go ahead and take care of it. Peel it all. That's Phoenix the rooster. He apparently is a little excited right now. Okay. I'm going to need another bowl to put my stuff in. There's this one. I'm going to cut it up, so I'm going to need a cutting board. I'm going to need it into the dishwasher. Okay, making sure your fingers are out of the way. I like to go ahead and cut it in half first so that it's not rocking. Then I'm just gonna cut it thinner slices that way, and then keeping your fingers up, heel on it, I'm just gonna go ahead and chop. Cutting it nice and small. Okay. Always make sure fingers are out of the way. And we're just gonna kind of rotate through it. All right, our carrot is chopped. It says 1/3 cup. Honestly, you could use more or less depending on your preference. Looks like I was pretty close there actually. So there's my carrots. If you had started eggs boiling when you had your potatoes boiling, those should have been off the stove. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel my eggs. So this is what you could work on this too if you have eggs. If you've chosen not to put eggs in, that's fine. You can work on something else. If you have bacon, you can work on getting that all cooked and crumbled. You can cook it in the oven, you could cook it on the stovetop, or you could microwave it. Either way works. You can also cook potatoes in the microwave if you don't have, okay, cut that so it's flat. And we're just gonna go ahead and chop up our, I do want my slices of egg to be a bit bigger than the carrots, so I'm not gonna go as small. I'm just gonna throw it in there. So, if you were putting bacon in, go ahead and do that. You're gonna wanna cook it and crumble it. If you're going to do celery, make sure you wash it and then just chop it up, being very careful with your fingers. If you're gonna use an onion, make sure you peel it and wash it and chop it up nice and good. The green onions, yep, just wash and cut it up. Pickles, I am using pickles, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some pickles out. So, same thing, keeping fingers up. We're just chopping it down. Kind of rotating through it. Okay, and it is a 1/2 cup of pickles. Let's see where we're at. Whoops, that wasn't effective. Ooh. Did we do good or what? Okay, 1/2 cup of pickles. Let's see. If you want to use relish instead of pickles, that's fine. We use pickles, I'm not going to double up here. I already did a carrot. I don't have peas. If you have peas, you just need to make sure if they're frozen, cook them. If they're canned, drain them. Green bell pepper, just cut it up, get the seeds out, dice it up. Jalapenos, if it's in a can, drain them. Otherwise, just cut them up. Probably want to get your seeds out, unless you want it really spicy. Green chilies, same thing. Okay, any other seasoning you're gonna want? I'm gonna wait for other seasonings. All right, I am going to check the temperature of my potatoes, see if they're cold enough that I can start handling them. Okay, they're not bad. Peel the skin, fine. If you want to use your peeler to start it, they are still hot, which is good. We don't want them to be completely cold when we do this process, because we're gonna be pouring vinegar on top of them. And it says to pour them on when it's still warm, so we don't want it to get completely cold. My potatoes are all peeled. Some of them still have a little bit of skin on them, but that's okay. Some people make potato salad with their skins on, so I think it will be good to have a little bit. Now I have a few little knobbies that I need to cut out. So just check it. Okay, that is it for that one. With potatoes, I like to cut them into thirds. Alright, because then you can lay them so they're flat. And then we want, this is for potato salads, we want nice bite-sized chunks. So I cut my 1/3 into third again, fingers up, And we're just doing nice bite-sized chunks. Okay. We did it. We finally finished step 1. Okay. Step 2 says we're going to pour the vinegar over the chopped warm potatoes and set aside to cool some more. So we need 2 tablespoons. Okay. Got a huge jug of vinegar here. I'm going to do this over here instead of over my potatoes because I don't want to spill it everywhere. All right. That's 1. And 2. And it says to put the vinegar over warm potatoes because it's supposed to help them maintain their form and also absorb flavor better. So that's why we're doing that. I'm going to move all this stuff because we're clogging up my workspace. I will do my dishes in a second. Let's start putting in step 3, in a separate bowl, we're going to mix the mayonnaise, salt, pepper, garlic, and mustard. So we need a 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. I'm going to use a spoon for this. Get my 1/3 cup. You know, I'm actually going to use a pretty heaping third here. So there's my 1/3 cup. That's in. It calls for a 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm going to find that. Here we go, our 1/4 teaspoon of salt. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. A 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Alright. And a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic. We're just going all out on the force here. Okay. And then 2 tablespoons of mustard. One tablespoon. And 2 tablespoons. Okay. Whoops. Hopefully you don't have a springy rubber measuring spoon because I just made a huge mess. I'm going to go ahead and stir this up here. Mix it all together. Okay. And then we're going to carefully mix the mayonnaise mixture into the prepared potatoes. We need to be gentle to avoid mashing the potatoes because we don't want to end up with a bunch of mashed potatoes. So I'm going to kind of stir it up real quick because we have all the other stuff at the bottom of this bowl. I'm just going to mix it up. Okay. Now we're going to add our sauce. Scoop it all out. And mix it together. So again, just kind of being nice and gentle. All right, and there it is, potato salad. We need to make sure that we clean up and then just enjoy. Have a good day.